Hey everybody, Max 9 Tutorial 18, here we are, Analog Keyboard Fantasia. And if you are thinking to yourself, that's a pretty positive title for something that I can't figure out what it's about, you are absolutely right to not be able to figure it out at all. So, I'm going to tell you, we got done in the last tutorial making this beautiful little keyboard here, and I was just playing it for our intro, just loving the heck out of it. But as you noticed, I was also playing it with the what's it called? The what is it? That thing. There it is. So we made this last week, and to make this analog, okay, not analog, let's not get started with that, analog player, we made standalone patchers here, and now we're going to incorporate this into that. And sometimes I call this sort of the kind of boxes in boxes kind of thing, but let's see how many different ways we can go in between the boxes today. So we've already made these standalone patchers inside boxes, right? So now let's make, let's decide what we're going to put in this window, and then we're going to put this inside this window too. So here we go. It's as simple as that, except for one thing, which is I'm going to unlock this patcher and move this down here, just so I don't have to move stuff around that much. You'll see why in just a second. So move your stuff kind of like this, and it'll all make a lot more sense. Okay, so let's type the letter N, as we love to do, and type B patcher, right? And there it is. There's our B patcher. Now, whoop, you can barely see it when I don't have it selected at the outside, but there it is. And we're going to put this up here as sort of like, where are we going to put our keyboard? Well, we're going to put it more or less here, right? And so now we're going to come over to our inspector. That's the inspector. We scroll on down, we choose a file, and come on, there you go. Teaching patchers. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was in the right folder already. And I scroll down and I get to 14 tutorial key 2 max patch. There it is. Okay, open it. There it is. Now, you're going to notice something here, which is that this didn't carry over its color. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But this is just this file up here opened up into here. So I am virtually sure that we could come over here and find some great way to get that color to come through, or we could just ignore it and say, let's include that B patcher in presentation, and then we do want to be able to click through. What does that mean? You could have a B patcher that you could see things, but you couldn't move stuff around in there. So let's get the click through going just in case. And then as you can see here, like ignore click, that might make it so that you can't mess around with it. And then there we go, we have that. We're all good. Oh, here's the thing I was talking about. Background mode, transparent, or is it the patcher background color? Ta-da! And there's our purple's back. So, if you want to be putting this in your new project and you're like, you know what, my old project was purple, but my new project's going to be green, I'm going to get rid of that color. Just change that. But otherwise, you can keep this purple and keep it right here in your patcher. So now we have this here. Now do remember that this is a new version of this. This one, as you can see, has volume already. The volume's up. This one does not. This doesn't have kind of the numbers haven't been put in yet. But so that they don't crosstalk with each other, because do remember, they are the same type of patcher. So anything I do that this one will be affected by, this one will be affected by. So they'll both be putting out C's, and well, actually this one won't. This one will be putting C0, and this one would be putting C -1 octave, right? Anyway, let's not get them to conflict with each other. So I'm going to close this one, and now we'll turn our attention to this one. Also, yeah, so I'm going to lock my patcher momentarily here and turn the volume up and say, hey, what bus driver are we? Bus driver. What driver, what bus were we using for these? It was IAC bus 1. And now let's see how this one works. Nice. Sounding great. And does our, and yeah. So let's set this up before I get too concerned with some other things. I'm always worrying about how this is going to pan out. So in that great effort we make to make a nice clean interface here, let's unlock our patcher. We put this in presentation mode. There it is. Good. Now we need this selector here, because we're going to want to be able to select things. We're going to put that in presentation mode. We're going to put all of these in presentation mode. I forgot to hold shift down while I was doing it, so that didn't make it in. And then I think we should also include this Easy DAC in presentation mode so that we can turn the audio on and off. So for the moment, let's just put these things in presentation mode. There it is. And now go to presentation mode. There we go. So what's going to be the layout here, right? Could be something like this, and then these all across here. And I just wonder if we could make them all a little bit smaller, like that. And then maybe we could also arrange them. I like to use distribute horizontally to get this done. And we could, whoops, that is just what happened to me last time. You have to get, no, not that. No, no, oh, let's try one of these. I don't want to get the whole hand, I want to get that. And then I can do that. So now we've got our 6 channels there, and you notice I left that little space over there. Oh, this is gonna be good. Look at that. It's like I almost planned the whole thing out. I would like you to know that I did not plan the whole thing out. I'm doing this like right as I think of it. So, this is looking great, and in some circles, this would be good enough. Woo! Nice. All right. Let's finish this up real quick, and then we can address some of the things that I'm thinking about. Because today I'm just thinking we're like unstoppable. We're doing MIDI, we're doing analog, we've got volume, we've got a pitch bender. Oh no, a pitch bender. Why did you have to remind me of that? It doesn't work. We'll get to that. Okay. Click in here. Unlock your patcher. Sorry. Click in here. Let's go click on the patcher color, right? We need a locked patcher color. Locked background color here is gray. So we want to make something that looks a little nicer. I'd like that color. You know, this is the object color here, and it's probably this color, right? So let's take a look and just drag it up there to the locked patcher color. And then I guess we have to lock the patcher to find out if that's working for us. Hey, lock. There we go. So now this kind of matches that. I don't know. I'm gonna change it a little bit because I like to have things be different colors. So here we go. Let's make it maybe a little more bluey, and maybe a little more purpley. There we go. No, that's almost the same color as the keyboard now. No. I'm going to go with that. That's my color. I'm sticking with it. Gosh darn it. There we go. It's a little bit different. But now you can sort of imagine, whoa, if we close that and we take this and we go like that and like that, and we come up here and we say define initial window location there, and we say save. Whoops. You know, I had forgotten to save this. What are we on here? Tutorial 18. Okay. You can name this, well, whatever you want. You're probably going to put your name in it, but I am going to put this down and keyboard Fantasia. Just don't forget to put your name in it there and save it. So there we go. Okay, 18 to Fantasia, great. Oh, and view. We don't want to see the toolbars anymore. It's looking pretty darn good. What is that black thing there? I'm going to do this and then say view, define fixed initial window. Okay, and there. We'll save it. We'll close it. We'll open it again to make sure it's working. Whoops. Oh my goodness, what happened? Everybody, what happened? Okay, I'm going to tell you, because a lot of you people got stuck doing this last time around. This patcher, unlocking, go into this, open in the inspector. We forgot to tell this main patcher, scrolling all the way down to view here, there's view, does not open in presentation. There it is. Now it opens in presentation. So we're going to save it. And I'm just going to put it away. I'm just putting it away. Saved. And now we're going to open it again. And let's see if we've solved the problem. Boom! Look at that. Looks so good. Remember, if you don't hear anything, that you have to turn the sound on. And you have to turn the volume up. And it's broadcasting on network new. That sounds like a MIDI, right? But if we put it on just bus 1, nice. All right. Everyone feel a certain sense of pride and accomplishment there? I do too. And this is looking great. And the only thing that could make this better, in my own crazy mind, would be color themes. But that is something we've done before, and that is something you can do on your own. But I have other fish to fry, because my idea of being able to do anything here today, I'm very, we maybe not everybody, but many of you, put in this pitch bender into your keyboard. And I would like to make sure that it works. So why is it not working right now? Well, the answer is kind of simple, actually. This operates, whoops, don't do that. I unlocked it just so I could show you this patcher. What I'm going to do is click on the B patcher. Now I'm going to hold down the control and click on it, and then say, let's open the original object. Okay? So let's take a look at this. Try not to type too much, because you'll get some crosstalk. So now we can look inside this. I'm going to take it out of presentation mode. Okay. Here is the pitch bender, right? And now it's functioning there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's the pitch bender slider, and it sends the number 64 down to MIDI format. When MIDI format sends it out as part of MIDI note, it is a program change. The notes, on the other hand, come down here and are sent out right here through MIDI format as notes. So when we use, let me take this one out of, okay. So when we use note in, it only allows notes in. I know, it sounds so obvious. So there is no bender coming in here. And even if there was, what would we do with it? It would be problematic. So there's a number of ways that we can address this. We can either say, bring all the MIDI in, and we'll send the pitch bend down to here some other way. So I could substitute the MIDI parse object here. That would be one way to do it. The other way is to go back to this device here and say, you know what? This thing's very good at sending out that 64. I'm going to unlock this right now. And what I'm going to do is make a new object. Everybody ready? And we are going to use the send object. You can either type send, or you can actually just type the letter S. So send, and then you want to type a name with no spaces that that you can remember and duplicate. That's pretty much it. Let's call it pitch bend. Okay. So we have an object now that's called send pitch bend, and that is what this one is going to do. It's going to send pitch bend. Now what I like to do is just copy the send pitch bend. That's a Command C there. And actually, I'm going to put it down here right now so that we can see what send and receive do. I do this so that I know that the pitch bend part matches. But then I come into this one and I say receive, or just R. R. Or receive if you really love typing. I don't really love typing, and only one space. There. Do not put spaces in these words. It will only pay attention to the first. Now, did you notice when I changed it to a receive, now it has only an outlet. Send has only an inlet. Receive has only an outlet. And the reason for that is because it's just receiving stuff. It's like a radio antenna. So I'm going to type M for message, and I'm going to hook this to the right-hand side of that. I'm going to lock my patcher so that you can, did you notice it immediately went to 64 because that is what's coming down this here. So with my patcher locked, now we can see that when I go up to here, it goes up to 127. When I go down to here, it goes to 0. And when I let go of it, it goes back to 64. Receive, pitch bend. That's what it does. So it allows you to do what you do with a patch cord with no patch cord. And the cool thing is you can have one send and 200 receives, and they'll all receive the same thing. So I'm going to unlock my patcher. I'm going to drag over this thing, and I'm going to cut it. For me, that's Command X. You could just copy it and then delete it. That's kind of the same idea. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in presentation mode, back in locked, and put it away. Oh, save it. Sorry, save it. Saved and put away. Now, I know you're not going to believe this, but because we did that in that other object, there is now a sender in this object. Nice, right? Oops, my thing's not locked, so it's not paying attention to what I do here. And so, what we're going to do is open Johnny Analog, and we are going to go down here. Now, what does it say? It says it's a read-only file. We're going to click that so that we can now unlock it. What it's telling you is, hey, you got a whole bunch of these. If you mess around with it, you're messing around with a lot of them. Okay? So we're going to Command V now, or paste, and look, there's our pitch bend. So now we can receive a pitch bend here from that keyboard. And when we save it, I'm going to say this ahead of time, it's going, whatever we do here in Johnny Analog is going to be in all 6 of these things. It is going to be brilliant. So now we're faced with a sort of a funny task, which is this. How do you figure out how to go between one note and another when they are, so we're going to try to pitch bend between them. If, just for example, the note coming out of here was 40, when we pitch bend, and if this is a 64, we want that to remain a 40. But if this is 127, then it should be very, very close to a 41. And if it's a 0, it should be very close to 39. Does that make sense? Because it's bending it half a note. We could even make it worse than that. But my idea here, and just in case anybody didn't get this yet, so pitch bend is going, you're trying to make this seem like it's bending up and down one full note. Okay? So I have a little an object to do this, and it is called the scale object. Type N scale, no tilde, just a space. And what scale does is it takes 4 arguments. What is the number coming in? We are going to be sending usually a 64, but we're going to be sending anything between 0, hello, it's just not typing it. Oh, I typed in 0 and 127. And then when it gets those, and that's going to be coming in from the pitch bend, right? It shouldn't have done that, but it did. Now I got to go back. I got to go back in here and finish my thought. So the numbers coming in from pitch bend are going to be in between 0 and 127. What scale does is it says, okay, if that's the range of the number coming in, what's the range of the number that you want going out? And if we want it to go down a full note, we're going to say negative 1.0 and then positive 1.0. So that's the range. So it's either going to go up a whole step or down a whole step, depending on what it gets here. So that's going to be one full semitone up or down. We could make this more dramatic. We could say -2, +2, -3, +3. Up to you. I'm going to keep it minimal because I'm a minimal kind of guy. So there it is. That's our scale device. And what we're going to do then is say a new object, and we're going to put plus space 0.0. And this thing, though, I just want to be clear about that. This thing's going to put out the number that we're either going to add or subtract from the number coming in from here. And we're going to look at it here. So I'll just put another message here, and I think you'll get the idea. So there we go. So let's see if this thing's working. I am going to lock this, and I'm going to play a note. Oops, it has to be number, it has to be Johnny Analog 1 for us to see it. There it is. So with this thing putting out 64, this is coming in, we're getting a 53. I'm going to try to, there we go, turn that sound down a little bit. This thing's playing key number 53. There's no bend on it, but we're getting 53.007. I think the reason for that is that 0 to 127 is an odd number, and what we need is 64. So we're going to bend the rules a little bit here. I can't believe this about MIDI. It's inexact. 1 and 127, and I will bet you that now it's going to hit, well, in 6 more tries it'll hit. It will be whatever this is exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, sorry. So there it is. Note number 55 came through, and now this adds 0 to it. So, and there's note number 55. Now we're going to bend this, whoop, up here. Oh boy, I can't, I see the problem. You're just going to have to believe, oh, I see. I'm trying to get it all in our screen so we can look at it. Here we go. I'm going to bend this up, way up, and I'm just going to play that note over again. There it is. Okay. So with the bend all the way up there, I'm now getting 57.968 instead of 57. So I'm going to let go of the bend and play the same note again. It's now 57, and actually you saw that occur right away when I did it. All right, so this seems to be working, but I do not have it hooked up to the sound yet. So now, sorry, I had to shut the recording off because a train was going by. Funny. Okay, so what we want to do is put this plus minus thing right in between these two. So I'm going to move, unlock my patcher. I'm going to move this one up. I'm going to move this one down a little bit. And I'm going to take this and move it on over there. And take this. Whoops, I went too soon. There we go. I'm going to move this one down to there. Now this passes through there. We can still see this number, but we'll probably get rid of it. And we're going to do this, lock it, and I'm going to do a crazy thing and save it So now all the Johnny analogs look like this one inside. So let's see what happens. I'm going to just keep playing 4 notes over and over. Oh, I have to turn it back up. It was so annoying before. Maybe I should just play the same note over and over again so you can hear it. So it doesn't allow for live bending, but it does. Let me just stop and think about that for a second. All right, so it doesn't allow, I took a few minutes to think about it. It doesn't allow for live bending because once this note is put in here and this is sent to here, that's pretty much it. It stops until another note comes in. Is it possible that we could change that? I say yes, it is. And we would do that with another, unlock your patcher, another special object called Bondo. So let's go get Bondo. N for a new object, and B-O-N-D-O. And then how many inlets? 2. And no delay, so there it is. So what Bondo does is when anything happens on either inlet, it sends them both out. So we're going to put this between here, and I could have probably shift-clicked this in here. It probably would have been smart, but I wanted to explain it while I was at it. So this might be a total disaster, and it might fry the whole thing, but because that means anytime that you're pitch bending, this thing's going to be resending that note. But in most cases, since the sound is going to be off, that shouldn't matter. But now we should be able to pitch bend all of these all the time that we're playing them. That's my theory anyway. That's how Bondo works. So Bondo, if this one triggers, it then goes bang, it fires this, it fires that. If this one triggers, it fires this, it fires that. It always does it. It just can't help itself. So here we go. We're going to lock this patcher. We're going to save this patcher, talk about bold. And now we're going to hold a note down. Oh my goodness, we've done it, people. Man. All right. That is gorgeous. I only just want to say one other little thing, which is maybe we were a little conservative on this -1 thing. Let's get in there and spice it up a little bit. Let's just stick a 4 in there. Come on. Or you could make it adjustable. So I'm putting in -4 and +4. So now it's going to go down 2 semitones or up 2 semitones. That sounds more like an actual pitch bend, right? I'm going to lock my patcher. I'm going to save my patcher. And let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Way better. I love it. I love it. Okay. So save that. Now we got this, and we're gonna put this in that mode, and we're gonna put this back here. We're gonna save the whole thing. We're gonna put it away, and we are going to open it again to make sure that it is as it should be. Whoops, wrong thing. I opened the wrong one. File, open recent, 18 key Fantasia, there it is. Boom. Turn it up, play it. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, it's playing MIDI again. So we can prove that. Right, so there's MIDI, and here's our analog. Let's go for that square wave, because that sounds a little like a sax, wouldn't it? Whoops. Have to turn the analog sound on. It doesn't. I think that sounds a little more like a sax. People, you hung in there. We overcame everything. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous analog keyboard. That is not just an analog keyboard, it is a super keyboard because it can also play in the synth mode. Right? We can pick anything out we want. Electric piano. We can play in the analog mode. And we can, whoops, grabbing the wrong thing. We can, there. Man, we've done it all. People, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next tutorial. Take care.